हम हैं तरंग ऑनलाइन रेडियो वर्ल्ड।
आप सुन रहे हैं तरंग डिवोशनल।
I have proud privilege to have Director General of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Delhi, with me, Sri K.G. Suresh ji. He is a veteran journalist himself, been with Doordarshan as a consultant, and now he is heading the organization here. And in last few years, the organization has prospered and improved scholarly, international presence, domestic presence, and to talk all about what he is envisaging the future of IIMC. Let's talk from the DG himself. So first, congratulations for this wonderful development journalism course.
Thank you.
And just what was this course and how hard it has been for you and the team here to bring all the journalists from across the developing world for this course, and how has been the experience?
Yes. Well, we at the Indian Institute of Mass Communication have been running this course since 1969 in one form or the other. And we have trained over about 1,600 journalists from 127 countries. So that means we have a global footprint. This time around, for the last couple of sessions since I took over, I would like to inform you that we have included a component on understanding India. We tell them not just about journalism, but also about India, about its culture, about its history, about its traditions, about its laws. And I'm sure that, they go back much more enriched. We also learn a lot. For the first time, we took them to Kurukshetra, which is closely associated with our culture and heritage. We also had for the first time Angavastra. We earlier used to have the western scarves, which this time we have abandoned, and this time for the first time we have introduced Angavastram. And this is something, which is very significant. And I'm really delighted that the Honorable Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Srimati Smriti Irani herself, came to the Institute and blessed our students, and she gave us a lot of ideas which we hope to implement in the coming days.
It won't be a misnomer to say that this is the first time the cabinet minister has come to IIMC, and which was mentioned from the dais, and that is a proud privilege for the students and the faculty here, and for the administration here to feel that the sense of enrichment, and the students as well.
Absolutely, this only shows the growing importance of both the course and the institute. That for a development journalism program, the cabinet minister herself consented. That shows the kind of importance this government is giving to, foreign relations. This is a very important program which is totally sponsored by the Ministry of External Affairs under its ITEC SCAP and Colombo Plan programs. And this is a very significant program, and I'm happy that the cabinet minister herself came and, gave away the awards and certificates.
So moving to another important topic, the digital world. You are yourself always present on the digital platform, and that is how I come to know most of the work that you do, or the organization that does. And the amount of travel that you do around the month and around the year to see the enhancement of Indian Institute of Mass Communication centers and development and the tie-ups. How does that work? And it must be a tiring experience for you.
No, not at all, because when work is your passion, I don't think there is anything called a tiredness. I rather feel much more energized when I travel, when I meet people, when I take the Indian Institute of Mass Communication forward. It gives me a lot of energy, and I'm really happy that in the last 2 years we have been able to bring in a lot of new things to IIMC. We have given a major push to language journalism. We have started Marathi language journalism from our Amravati campus, Malayalam language journalism from our Kerala campus. We have upgraded the Urdu program in Delhi. We have introduced for the first time a 3 months advanced certificate program in Sanskrit journalism. We have revived our publications division. We are bringing out magazines on a consistent basis, our journals, communicator Center and Sanchar Madhyam. We have set up the Community Radio Empowerment and Resource Center. So, all in all, this is, I would say that these are exciting times at IIMC.
Sir, being a journalist myself and having followed you, and you are yourself such an experienced journalist who many like me, many other followed all throughout your decades of work. Now let's move on to the diplomacy. India is certainly going to be the top decision taker in the world, fourth country, top biggest economy in the world. How challenging are those times in terms of we take the opportunity, feel the pressure, grasp the energy and communicate to the world. Now communication has enhanced with the digital world coming into the existence. So now India's leadership, and we see the diplomacy of our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, he is winning hands down the world over.
Absolutely, you are right. Today India is being looked at in a new light. India is being seen as a fast emerging power, whether it is in the field of economics, in the field of military, in the field of space, in the field of science and technology, in the field of industry, trade. Today, developing countries look up to India when it comes to major issues of trade and environment, and it is but natural that in this significant transition period, India communicates to the world its policies, its programs, so that the people across the world, they look up to India. Because please remember, every fifth human being is an Indian. And that is very important. We have got a large diaspora across the world. And I am happy to tell you that, that today in the communication sector also, thanks to social media, Indians are dominating the world. India has a very important presence in the software industry, and I believe that it is high time that even small countries like France, they have their own channels. You have Russia has a channel, China has its own international channel. It's high time we also have in India our own international channel, wherein we can look at the world through our perspective and tell the world our perspective about the global developments. That is very important, and I think that will be the next stage of communication.
Having lived in UK myself for 10 years, and it was always wanting to find the news which is coming from the India, and it was always a secondary news, not the primary news. And yourself having been a consultant with Doordarshan News, and now DD International is, and in terms of English news is coming. How do you see that panning out?
Absolutely, I think that DD is doing a good job. But I think that we need, to reach out to more number of people, more number of countries, and make its programming in such a way that there is a global audience for it. So I think that a lot of enrichment needs to be done, a lot of enhancement needs to be done, because it has to befit the stature of a growing, emerging power like India.
So taking a cue back from what you said, that in every fifth Indian is every fifth world citizen is an Indian, and coincidentally, India is a fifth economy as of now, and it is striving to be the fourth. Where do we see the economic journalism and the development journalism marrying together? What's your vision on that?
I think that we need to do, as a developing country, I think our priorities needs to be refixed, particularly in media. I think we are still a politically obsessed country. I think that we would be doing a greater job, greater service if we focus more on developmental issues. Of course, politics is required, entertainment is required, industry is important, sports is important, but we need to have a proportion, a sense of proportion, a sense of balance, wherein issues of development are also equally highlighted.
So, being at IIMC, it won't be appropriate without asking you, what are the future plans? Next month, you are also holding a Asia Summit, which is, can you give a prelude to that, what it is about, and what are the other future plans of IIMC that you are?
India Summit is being, held from May 8 to 11, and we will see a lot of participation from broadcasters across the world, across Asia. And the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, along with IIMC and the BESL, Broadcast Engineering Corporation Limited, we are all together hosting that. And I think that telling stories or Asian stories is the main theme of the conference. And I'm sure that, the conference will highlight ways and means of telling stories which would be more effective, which would have far-reaching implications, which can bring about change. These are the stories that we need to tell our people, our respective people. Asia has so much to give, but Asia also has so much to learn. And I think that this platform would give us an opportunity both to give and learn.
Is it something to do with, because we all have been talking about for last 20 years that 21st century is the century of Asia, and what you said is summed it very rightly, that Asia has to learn and also teach and educate.
Yes, absolutely. As I said that, this is the Asian century, and we have to reach out to the world. We have to reach out to our own people. We have to communicate with our own people. We have to tell them success stories. We have to encourage them to be on the developmental path. We have to, in terms of both content and technology. For me as a journalist, content is very important. But it is also important that we use, the most advanced technology to disseminate that information, to the other grassroots level, to the last man in the queue.
So where do you want to take the IIMC? You have already spanned IIMC in so many multi-languages, and you're also scouting for places for IIMC in multiple cities. What's your vision, let's say, in next 3 to 5 years plan?
Well, I hope that very soon the government would declare. We are trying, where our application is before the University Grants Commission. I'm sure that we will soon become a deemed university. That would enable us to move away from diploma programs to postgraduate degree programs and research, PhD, MPhil and other programs. We would be able to. So my whole idea is that IIMC is not just another media school. IIMC has to be India's communication think tank. It has to be India's communication hub. And I'm sure that, we will achieve that.
Like we all know that in West we have Thomson think tank, we have Reuters think tank, and here we have, coming from the IIMC DG, KG Suresh, that he doesn't want only IIMC to be student-centric or academic-centric. It has to be a think tank from India to the outside world, because India is on the world map. Our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has taken India on a personal diplomacy and winning hands down there. Thank you, sir, for your envision.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
आप सुन रहे हैं तरंग डिवोशनल।